professional people within the judges, then the judicial system are beginning to come on board. I'm noticing that we've got countries where it was just legalized over in was it just came out with an article over in
Which drug?
yeah about
Which drug was legalized?
Think of Bolivia? Think of coca cultivation in Bolivia?
which is it?
In Bolivia, think of the coca cultivation, things you can around?
Yeah, but somebody just came out with an article just the other day.
You're talking about the police in
That's
Scotland
it.
who are
Yeah,
recommending legalization in Scotland.
You know, I mean, I think what we're beginning to galvanize our forces, like with LEAP. I mean, we're galvanizing, and I think that if we continue, you know, pushing it, I can't give you a time frame on it, but I think we've made some leaps and bounds within the last couple of years to make folk that are actually, because it's costing this country so much money. I mean, we're talking billions of dollars. When we put out the amount of money that it's costing this country, and what you can save by doing it this way, I think it's opening doors. I can't give you a time frame, but I think we do have people that are listening now.
Here's the thing, change is discontinuous. It's
Right.
not sort of smeared across in tiny little, 1-inch increments per month. Change is discontinuous. You know, if it was 1958 and you were asking a young Matt Fong, well, what do you think? Well, you think you guys are going to get the right to vote? Think you guys are going to get the right to ride on the buses? It hasn't changed, since Plessy versus Ferguson. You got the Supreme Court you got to deal with. And wham! Within a few years, we had marches in Selma, we had the Voting Rights Act, we have the
Right.
Civil Rights Act of '64, we have court implementation, and segregation was smashed legally. If you'd ask people in the mid-'50s, well, are you gonna ever ride in the front of the bus, Reverend King? Well, the point is, change is discontinuous. There is an enormous amount of discussion about this issue going on nationwide. Everywhere that I go, people are encouraged by this issue. I sit down in an airplane, somebody next to me, I tell them what to do, and they say, God bless you. Now I didn't pick the person sitting next to me on the airplane. I have this experience wherever I go. The American people are hungry for change. They're hungry for change. Now, are members of Congress going to take the lead? Of course not. They never take the lead. They never take the lead. You don't look to Congress for leadership. That's bullshit. You know that. So, what is happening is, an organization like SSDP, a growing organization with chapters all over the country. An organization like LEAP, goes from 5 police officers who are fed up with the war on drugs to thousands.
Right.
So there is a tremendous amount of change that is taking place. I mean, if you monitor, the news coverage of this issue, this is a steadily growing issue, and there will be some events that will dramatically kick this to a much higher level.
All right, we have time for about one more question, and just another thing to, just one thing on the legal side of things. There's an organization called the Alchemide Society that's working on a First Amendment argument along the lines of some of the things Eric was talking about. But
Yes, the gentleman there, I think he's.
Professor Cohen, you had a question?
I enjoyed you very much. We've talked together before. Devil's in the details. You obviously, you're not taking a completely libertarian point, and you are compartmentalizing drugs, some being more inherently dangerous than the other. I want to use cocaine. I don't want to be, hypothetical, I don't want to be regulated. And I go to the practitioner or the LSD group leader, and to paraphrase you, say, bullshit, I'm going to use it anyway. So the two questions: one, what is the enforcement against what will be the illegal use of drugs? And two, from a societal point of view, drug dependency is still going to be an issue.
Oh, yes.
Who's going to pay for it?
Yes. Okay. In terms of drug dependency, that will continue to be paid for, I believe, by the public as it is paying for it now. It's paying through insurance. It's paying through a host of expenses that exist in our society, as we are paying for a host of social evils that we fail to address. And in terms of enforcement, I'm not anti-cop. I'm not anti-court. I'm not anti-law. There will need to be a system of regulation. But the difference will be between a crusade based upon profound excess. You know, what should be the penalty for the Falmouth high school kid who sells drugs? You call him into the office with mom and dad, and you say, look, we know you're selling drugs. You know, you're not allowed to do that here. You've been caught. Now, we have, you know, selling drugs to other kids at school is an offense. This is not the place where we sell drugs. If we catch you again, you're going to be punished. And I think that 90% of high school kids having been caught, knowing that they're caught, sitting there with mom and dad in the principal's office, oh man, I don't want to do this. I was caught shoplifting in junior high school. And my mother was brought into the manager's office. I was quite ashamed. It had a very salutary effect on my criminal career.
All right, well, thank you, everybody, and thank you to our speakers. You guys did a wonderful job.
I'll just say, you know, at my website, www.cjpf.org, many of these arguments are laid out in various articles and law reviews and so forth, and we welcome your hits.
And it's leap.cc for Law Enforcement Against Prohibition.
And I have also one called Bigots with